Hi guys, I'm Marissa and I'm back with another video. Today I want to share with you what books I have yet to read from my TBR unwrappings. So I guess a sort of TBR just to let you know how many I have that are TBR unwrappings that I haven't gotten around to read yet. And maybe have you helped me in where to start with them. Maybe you have some books that you really loved and you think that I would enjoy, so that I should get to them before. Some of them are really intimidating in size as well, so that is also a reason why I've been not picking them up maybe. But yeah, let's start out with the ones that I'm actually currently working on but I haven't finished yet, and maybe you could help me by some of them. Let me know why I should continue with them if I'm not feeling it at the moment. The first one that I'm actively working on right now is Goldstruck Island by Frances Hardinge. While I'm not enjoying it, I have decided on trying to finishing it. I have listened to something today, so I think I might be around the halfway point. So I don't know. But so far, not so good, but I am working on it, so I know I'll finish it probably by the end of the week. We'll see. Another book that I have been reading, but I am halfway through and that I work on sometimes is Down These Strange Streets by George R. R. Martin and Gardner Dozois. This is an anthology that they created together. They edited it. It has a lot of interesting stories I've read. I'm in the middle of the 10th one out of, I guess, about 15. So I have read a lot. I have still the longest one to go. But the reason that I'm not eager to pick it up is because the majority of them I haven't really enjoyed as much. There's some of them that are really good and really enjoy them, but this specific one that I'm currently reading wasn't very good, so I kept on putting it down, and even though it's only like 20 pages, I haven't finished it, but I will get back to it eventually. Another book that I've been picking up every once in a while is The Heroes of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, the last and final book in the Mistborn trilogy. I struggled with this one because I think some parts of the beginning here has been extremely good. Like, there's some of the characters that I really enjoy following, but then there's a couple of other characters that I just find so boring and so annoying, and I want to not be with them as much. And I feel like the author spends a little too much time with them in this book. But I do know that Brandon Sanderson writes epic endings, so I know that next time I pick it up I'll probably end up finishing it, so it's just a matter of me getting back to it. I think I might get to it in June or July, depending on my mood. I'm being interrupted by motorbikes, sorry. These I'm fairly sure I'll get to eventually and actually finish soon. This one is more of a, you have to convince me why I should continue with it, because I read the first 100 and so pages and I'm not sold. What page did I land? 162 pages of The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I didn't really love it. I really had an issue with the writing style, with the voice, with the whole thing. I think the way it's written is it has a lot of grammatical errors because it's told from a perspective of someone who's not good with words and stuff, and I think that jars my enjoyment of it because it really distracts me. But let me know if it's worth sticking with it, because if you can convince me, I'll try and finish it, otherwise it'll be a DNF for me. This next one is one I've read like the first 75 pages, and I'm not sure I'm going to be finishing it ever, but we'll see. It is a fairly quick read, and it's called Demon Princess by Michelle Rowan. If you think of Twilight stuff, I don't know if it's like that, but you know, it would have been something I would have thought it was fun to read when I liked Twilight. But I don't know if I continue with it, I will end up enjoying it, because I know that I do enjoy those type of books sometimes, especially if you consider like the Vampire Academy series, where I thought that the first book was annoying but still good, and the next book I gave 5 stars to immediately, like recently. So I don't know about this one, but I think it might be fairly quick whenever I get around to continuing with it again. The most intimidating one that I've started on, but I still haven't finished, is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I will get back to this soon eventually as well. I will be reading a little bit of it every day, I guess, when I finally pick it up again. I am on page 472, 782 pages, and I'm on page 472, so I have about 300 pages left. And this one started out being, I've tabbed a lot of things, and it's only because I actually really enjoyed it, but there was a large chunk here in the middle where I felt like it didn't really keep me motivated to continue with it. But there were some things that happened in the later chapters that suggest that I will enjoy the remainder, but I will get back to it later and finish it eventually. It is on my big book TBR of the year, so I'd like to have it off soon. A couple of books that are sort of omnibuses, so books that have more than one book in the binder, is The Shape Changer's Song by Jennifer Robinson. I read the first book in this two book binder that's called The Shape Changers. It is the first book in the Chronicles of the Sisuli. And then I still have to read Song of Mana, so I might pick up this one fairly soon and then in that way get it out of the way, because I knew I enjoyed the first one, and they are like about 200 pages each, so they aren't the longest books to read. Another one that I have is in the similar vein is The Darkest Rising sequence by Susan Cooper, where I've recently read The Darkest Rising. So that is the second book in the series. I have still 3 books to go in this series, and I will be working on it gradually over the year. But the thing is that I was thinking about how many have I finished this year, and can that really be true? But the thing is, I've read one story in here and one story in another, and normally that will equal to me finishing a book and putting it away from my TBR. But obviously in these cases I have multiple books that I have to finish before I finish the whole thing. So yeah, but I am definitely going to be working on this. So those were all of the things that I have started and worked on. Now let's get to all of the other things that I have. I don't know how many books it is exactly, but I think I have around 20 books or something. Let's start from the bottom shelf. The first thing is, like, I have the big collection of the Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale. I read one of them, haven't started on it yet. It is very intimidating, even though the stories are not very long and I could just read one every day or so and make a slow progress with it. It is just not something that I gravitate towards. So at one point maybe I will make it a challenge for myself to actually read one every week or something, or every month, and work my way through it like that. Another one I have is The Winter's Curse by Rutkoski. This is book 1 in the Winter's Curse trilogy, and it was very popular when I just started out on BookTube, and I think it's sort of set in Rome, in an alternative history type of version of Rome, and follows different things. I don't think it's very magical, but I think it has a sort of fantastical feel to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know some people really love this, but I don't know where I would fall on this whole thing. Another one I have is The Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. This is a short story collection, and I haven't decided yet whether I will read the Stephen King books out of order a little bit to fit in these books, but we'll see at one point if I do that. But I am obviously looking forward to reading them, but I have been reading his books more or less chronologically since I started my Stephen King project, and have been enjoying it, so we'll see when I eventually get to it. Another one I have is Lost Guards by Micah Yongo. This is a book about assassins on the school, and I have heard mixed things about it, but I'm still interested in reading it, and we'll see when I eventually get around to it. But if you have read it and you enjoyed it, definitely let me know. A Danish translated chick lit type book is Then Came You by Jennifer Weiner. I think I at least have access to an audio of this, so I will be listening to this maybe soon, because it's like this type of year. I feel like it's fun to listen to sort of chiclets at times. So I might try it and then see if it's something my mom would like and hand it over to her, because I think that she might enjoy these type of books. Then I have The City and the City by China Mabel. I will be able to get access to an audio from the library, and I think I might get hold on it soon so that I can get to it, because I think that it is a good way of getting through at least some of my books quite fast. Now we're going to my top shelf, so at least we only have that left. The first one I have here is a chunky one, and I'm looking forward to reading it so much, but I'm very intimidated with its size. But if anyone would buddy read it with me, that might make it easier for me to get to it. That's Cushiel Start by Jacqueline Carey. This is the first book in the Cushiel's trilogy. I don't know, but it said that, like, I know if I enjoy this and I read all of them, I enjoy this trilogy. She has another trilogy about Imriel and another trilogy about another character in the same world. So yeah, definitely let me know if you are planning on reading it at some point. If you want to buddy read it with me, that will definitely be helpful. Another one that I have is a first book in a spin-off series that I might actually be pretty excited to get to. That is Stormglass by Marissa Snyder. I will try and fit it in soon, because even if it is like 500 something pages, yeah, just over 500 pages, it is YA, so usually it's relatively faster to read, and I might be able to fit it in easily over a week-long reading, but we'll see when I'm actually able to do that. The next one is definitely one I have to take my time with, but I would love to buddy read it if anyone would love to buddy read it with me, and that is Rise of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan, the second omnibus of the Sharia Revelations, I can't say that, which is a bind-up of the two books, which calls Nifron Rising and The Merle Storm. I don't know if I should read the first one first, because I've more or less forgotten the majority. I had the first one in audio form, so I might be able to get through it in a relatively faster speed, and I will try and do that and then get to this, I think. This one I guess I will be able to get through pretty quickly, and that is Crest by Marissa Meyer. I read the first two books in the series, obviously. The first one was fine. I didn't have much against it. It was definitely different than other retellings I'd read of the same type. Scarlet, I just really resonated very much with the characters. I really love the romance going on in that. So I was actually really excited to get to the sequels, but then a lot of time happened. I've lost some of the passion for that series, but I am interested in reading it. But definitely let me know if you've read it recently and you've thought it was fun. It would also be fun to buddy read this one. I'm all up for buddy reads. The next one is one I'm very intimidated by. I think it's because of the genre, and that is The House of Whispers, The House of Spirits by Isabel Allende. This is obviously a gothic type of literary fiction. I've heard good things about this. Look at the text on this one. It will take me forever to read this. So, but I will try and get to it at one point. Another one I have the same issue with is probably The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I know I should read this. It's apparently really good. It follows a story about a boy in Afghanistan. Okay, it's set in Afghanistan. I was unsure where it was, so I need to definitely make it a priority to get to it at some point. I started it actually, so this should have been on my I started but haven't continued. I read the first 29 pages and I remember actually enjoying that, so I don't think it's going to be that difficult for me to read it, so I'll get to it, hopefully. Then I have another one. I think I put this on my 5-star predictions. That is The 13th Tale by Diane Centerfield. This is another one of those gothic novels. So let me know if I should pick this up sooner rather than later, because I would actually really like to know that. Also, I'm up for buddy reads for that one, because I think it would be one that has not a lot of discussions. This next one is definitely one I think is going to be easy whenever I pick it up, and that is Night Shifted by Cassie Alexander. This is urban fantasy, so for me that is like a no-brainer type of thing. It's like, I love reading these in between these denser sort of books, because they're easy to get through and you don't have to think too much about things when you read them. They're extremely fast-paced and stuff, and yeah, might actually really end up enjoying this one. Then I have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is probably one I'm not a little bit more intimidated by, just because I don't read a lot of contemporary. I don't know if Morgan Matson will be for me, but definitely convinced me if I should pick it up. It would be the perfect timing because it's summer and stuff, and there's these cute dogs on the cover. I think she has something to do with ice cream, or is that another one? Oh, I know she's a dog walker in this. So this next one I'm really excited about. That is A Spy in the House by Y.S. Lee. I have been wanting to read this for so long. Like, since I read a story by Y.S. Lee in a short story collection, I have been wanting to read more from her because I really enjoyed that story. And then I hear Mara from Books Like Whoa talking about it, and I almost put it on my favorite thing from like that video, but with all of the other things I couldn't really fit it in, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Another one I'm excited to get to because I haven't read from this author in a while, and I do really enjoy her and think that she's one of the best in the romance genre, and that is Nora Roberts. This specific book that I have is The Villa, and I think this is set in a vineyard. Yeah, from the lush vineyards of Napa Valley to the ageless beauty of Venice, #1 New York Times best-selling author Nora Roberts spins a riveting tale of family conflicts and the deadly secrets that threaten a proud heritage. Yeah, so it's something to do with a vineyard. So I'm looking forward to getting to this. I have another collection of stories, and that is Radical Element by Jessica Spotswood, or it's edited by Jessica Spotswood. It has 12 tales by different authors. Last time it was set in a sort of chronological timeline, and I wonder if it isn't also done this time around. But I'm looking forward to seeing if I discover some new authors in this, as I did the first time I read a collection by this author. I have The Flame in the Mist by Rene. I think I have talked to Rhea about actually possibly body reading it, but I might be able to get a hand up an audio from the library, so I might actually listen to it in audio. It all depends on whether I will body read it. If I body read it, I think I'll read it myself, and so I can easily follow along with what we need to read every day. But if I read by myself, I'll just put on an audio. So let me know if you're still interested in that, Rhea. The next one I'm really excited to get to is The Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman. I love the first book in this series, and I really can't wait to get on with this. This was quite a slow-moving plot, though. It was not like the fastest pace, but it was really interesting, and I love the magic system, and I hope that I will continue to do so. So one day soon. Then we have Codename Verity by Elizabeth Vine. This is a historical fiction set in, I think, the World War II. Yes, it does say so there. About courage, friendship, and betrayal in the World War II. I'm not the biggest fan of World War II historical fiction. I think, but I am interested in this again because I read a short story from Elizabeth Vine in a short story collection. Really enjoyed it, so I think I will like her writing style. But let me know if you think I should up this one over some of the others. Then I have Don't Tell the Groom by Annabelle. This is one I'm not super excited about, but I have an audio of it at least, so I can get to it from Storytel, and I will try and fit it in over the next few months. It is easier to fit in an audio here and there. The next one I'm super excited about, I actually think I have it on my 5-star predictions list, and that is The Beekeepers Apprentice by Laurie R. King. This is the first book in the Mary Russell series, which is a retelling of the Sherlock Holmes universe, and it talks about how Mary Russell became an apprentice of Sherlock Holmes. So I'm really looking forward to it. I have heard excellent things. I find that often the retellings are better in the Sherlock Holmes universe, at least, are better than the original, even though I am definitely interested in continuing and finishing off the Sherlock Holmes books. The next one is one I'm also really interested in body reading with someone, and that is Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier. If you want to body read this with me, definitely let me know. It will make it much easier for me to get through this, and I Don't know when I'll have time to it, but if you want to, we can make a discussion about it and try and fit it into a schedule. This next one is one I might read this year. I have it on my big books TBR, and it is one that is part of my Stephen King soon to read list. However, I haven't really read very much Stephen King this year, so I don't know if I managed to catch up to it before. But this is It by Stephen King. This has the freakiest cover in history. I hate clowns, and I always have this book face down, or like at least so that I can't see the cover. And this one book is just over 1,000 pages, but texted like this, so it's like, yeah. But I know I can access a Danish audio, and I will listen to this in audio when I get to it. The last two things on my TBR are two SF masterworks, and I am eager to read both of them, but if you've read any of them, if you want to push me to read one of them over the other, definitely let me know. The first one is The Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut. I've never read any by Kurt Vonnegut before, so I guess this is going to be possibly my first one. I do have a couple of his books on my classic list. That is not this one, that's Cat's Cradle, and I think I also have a lot of House 5, but if you think I should start out with this one, then definitely let me know. Then I have Grass by Sharia's Tepper. This is another masterwork, obviously, and I was almost reading it for the Classic SFF readathon that happened, but then I had a lot of other things on my list, so I couldn't fit it in. But this is over 500 pages. This was the last book I had on my TBR. Let me know which of these you think I should start out with. It's a little bit excessive, and it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes looking at these shelves and not knowing where to start. But if you have any ideas, any suggestions, any books that you want to bother read with me, let me know, because I would like to try and schedule that in with you. I think that will work for me. So yeah, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!